And then after
$9.99.
You guys are almost.
We had them. Oh, they went to $9.99 and $9.98. $1,000.
Hey, you did it. You did it. Well, folks, I'll tell you what. You guys earned it. You guys earned the opportunity to hear from our most incredible CEO, Holton Bugs. So what we're going to do is we're going to make room for greatness and bring on our CEO visionary, Holton Bugs.
Rock, man. You guys absolutely rock the house. Rock the house. Guys, give it up for Mark Kithcart. Give it up for T. Gray, the dynamic tunicorns that we have here, the dynamic duo. So I'm going to take this off of share. Can I take this off and just have my whole full screen here?
Yep, you're on.
I'm not on full screen, am I? I'm looking at this one here. Oh, I should be looking at this one.
Hold on.
Okay, because I only have a short period of time here because I actually have a Zoom call that I have to do. Anyway, guys, I want to say what's up to everybody here in Ibuumerang. I want to say congratulations to all of you. I was watching on Facebook Live and somebody says, if you guys don't tell me what I'm watching, I'm leaving. You don't tell me what I'm watching, I'm leaving. Well, you're watching History in the Making is what you're watching every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. History in the Making is what you're watching. You just got through watching, you just got through watching two gentlemen that are in part responsible for what's never taken place in this industry called network marketing. And if you don't know what you're watching, go back and look at it from the very beginning, or go just scroll through our Facebook, scroll through our social channels, and you'll see what's actually happening here. You got a lot of excited people, whereas we show people how to have a 5-star lifestyle, but for 3-star pricing, okay? And that's really what we've done. Now, one other person said, hey, listen, well, what about the loyal 850 people who've already been watching? Now, I want you to share something with you. Anytime I throw out a challenge, I want you to always know that it's a training and teachable moment. Here's what we've done, okay? I want you to learn from something. T. Gray just showed you how to go fast. What I did is showed you how to go faster. Why? Because what I realize is that very seldom do we give our best. Very seldom do we give our best. Very seldom do we go absolutely all out. Why? Because most of us, even like myself for a while, was conditioned to doing just what I had already been doing. And so I had watched the numbers. The numbers had dropped down to below 700, dropped down below 700. And all we did is we said, hey, listen, do your best. And now we've got over 1,100, which means that what if you came to this training and what if you did everything, okay, or did anything the way you do everything? Because that's what we do, okay? Everything that we do it the way we do anything. And so, my saying is how you do anything is how you do everything. And so what if you, every Saturday morning, you got on this training call and what you just got through doing the last 7 or 8 minutes, what if that was your attitude every day? Every time you did Ibuumerang, every time you prospected, every time you did a presentation, every time you were sending out boomerangs, every time you were writing out your goals, every time you were putting your calendar together, what if you did it and you went all out every single time? What happens is you open up this aura of magic that takes place. And see, most people will look and say, wow, you're such a great network marketer. No, I'm not. I'm not a great network marketer. What it is that I don't have an opportunity to play here. I don't. And so if my tank is full of octane here, I'm going to make sure I use 100% of it whenever I start and finish a task. I'm not going to go back and say, man, you know what? I knew I wasn't going to win anyway, so I saved some in the tank. Hey, T. Gray, I saved some for next week. There is no next week when you're going for your goals. There is no next week when you're going for your goals. And so that's really what that was all about. Would I have gotten on? Of course, I'm not going to deny my people. I'm here. I do have a Zoom call coming up with some major people that I've got to talk to. And then I've got to catch a plane. I was actually going to drive down, but I'm actually catching a plane to some mysterious city where the best football team in the land resides. That will be in Dallas,
New
Texas.
York City.
And I've got a big boom party that I'm doing today, a good party that I'm doing today. And it's going to be a good boom party. We're we're going to break some pins with this good party. I think this is maybe my first or second good party for somebody personal that warranted me getting involved with them. Matter of fact, they were actually, I don't want to say sacrificing, they were investing a $60,000 to $70,000 a month income to join this incredible company called Ibuumerang. And I sat and I had dinner with them, and with a couple of our diamonds, Amy and Steve Seaver, and I sat and had dinner with them, and I recognized the talent that they had. And the only thing was missing was environment and coaching. And I told them, I said, listen, I wasn't expecting them to leave or stop doing what they were doing or whatever it is. I just had a great time with them. And they saw something that they really admired. And they said, hey, we want to do it. They brought 20 people down here. Maybe, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, they brought 20 people down. And I told them, hey, listen, you know what? I not only will coach and give you some guidance, but I'll come and do a boom party for you. And so the boom party got too big, over 200 people's coming. So they moved it to a hotel. And so I'm doing a boom party. It's a private boom party. So I shouldn't have said Amy and Steve Seaver's name, because everybody's going to be calling them, where's this boom party going? But anyway, I'm catching a plane, going down, doing the boom party. Actually, I've got 3 meetings, and I've got the Zoom party I've got going on. I've got another meeting for one of my heroes, Cosmos Mugembe. So I've got a 2 o'clock meeting. I'm meeting with some people. And then I'm not going to tell them what time it is, another o'clock event. Boom party. And then while I'm down there, I'm just going to be booming, booming, booming. And then the Dallas Cowboys will lower the boom on Sam Bean's Green Bay Packers and on Ronell's Green Bay Packers. Anyway, I've got the microphone. I can say it. Sam, your birthday was yesterday. It's not today, and it will not be tomorrow. I just want you to know. Now, okay? But anyway, guys, back to it. But just think about it. What if you went all out? What if you said, I'm tired of playing, in the middle? Because you didn't do all that you could do. If you were at Vision, Cesar Munoz gave us a training. I think it was Cesar Munoz or one of them who told us, take your hand and go all the way back as far as you can go. And then he said, do it again. And the second time, everybody went much further than they went the first time. Why? Because we're conditioned to doing just enough. This is why the majority of us never live a life of abundance, because it's just that nth degree. It's that last degree that causes everything to happen. When we look at water, water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can boil water, or you can heat it up to 210. You can heat it up to 211.5. And all you've got is hot water. But it's that 212 is what causes water to boil. It's the same analogy I used on our social channel yesterday. What's missing? Some of you, it was your flight plan calendar. Some of you, it's that 1 degree. It's that 1 degree that you're just not willing to say, I'm going to call everybody that's on my list. If you've been in the business, T. Gray just showed you how to go fast. If you've been in Ibuumerang and you believe this is the best thing since sliced bread, and by the way, I don't eat sliced bread anymore. I don't eat bread anymore. Okay? This is the best thing, okay? Guys, I'm digressing. These guys, I don't know why the comedy center comes out when you sit on this side of the camera over there. I don't know what happens, okay? It just happens. But they've been introducing me to this fake food, okay? Especially Kitsia. They got me on this vegan stuff, and I started to eat the container that the food came in, and it tastes exactly the same. You put sauce on the paper container, and it tastes like vegan food, all right? It's like with cardboard or vegan chicken, it tastes the same when you put sweet and sour sauce on it, all right? But anyway, back to what I was saying. If you've been around here, this is the best thing since flavored cardboard, okay? And you haven't, some of you, your neighbor is taking a vacation next week, and they don't even know you're in the travel business. They don't even know you got the cure for their wallet. You're responsible right now because your neighbor across the street is about to go pay full price. They're about to pay full price, and you're sitting there with the benefit for them. You've got your other neighbor who's over there. They just had a baby, and she's wondering, do I have to go back to work and take my baby and pass my baby on to the lowest bidder called daycare? 6 weeks, and my little baby is going to know the daycare supervisor more than they know mommy. Why? Because mommy's got to go back to work, and you've got the cure. It's called an Ibuumerang ambassadorship, and you haven't even sent them an I decide. Why? Because you're leaving something in the tank. What are you saving it for? Why? What are you saving it for? You join the business and you've got 50 boomerangs, and a month later, you still got 25 boomerangs. Why? What are you saving it for? And so what I'm telling you guys, if you want to go fast, just go all out. You don't have to change. You don't have to change a lot. It's just that one thing that you're missing. We always say, what's the most important part of a car? It's that part that's missing. Look, we're at 2,000 views now. Why? Because somebody decided, let me do a little bit more and let me allow my water to boil. Let me boil some water instead of just having hot water. What's the most important part of a car? It's not the engine. It's not the tires, not the ignition, not the brakes, not the accelerator. It is the part that you are missing. It's the part that's missing. Because if you've got an engine, but you don't have wheels, that's what's important at this moment. And when I look at this vehicle that we call Ibuumerang, it's your personal wealth vehicle. What's missing? What's the most important part of your personal wealth vehicle? What's missing? Is it effort? Is it commitment? Is it you're uncertain? You're still wondering whether it's going to work. You're still thinking, well, I'll do it, once I see this evidence. Maybe I've got to go through one full year to make sure it's going to be around. I'll address that. Peter Hirsch was so excited yesterday. I was in a car, talking, and just like T. Gray, just like Mark, they're always taking notes, and Peter Hirsch is always taking notes when I'm around. They kind of make me feel like what I have to say is important, because I don't take myself all that serious. And they're pulling out these notepads, and I'm like, man, I'm just talking to, and they're like, yeah, hold on for a second. He's writing notes, right? And so I'm talking to this group, right? Let me share this one thing with you. I've got 13 minutes, so I've got this Zoom call with these major leaders, right? They always call themselves major leaders. And I've got a group that I was talking to, and their question was, well, why is this such different than any other startup? Let me just address that one for you. Peter Hirsch asked me, he says, could you one day do a training on it? Well, I'm going to kind of give it to you right now. All right. Mark said, yes. Okay. So let's look at it. First thing that I told them is I said, listen, what I want you to learn is that so many of us, we get so hung up on these network marketing colloquialisms. All right, that's the word of the day, colloquialism. Okay, we have word of the day over here. Mark's probably already chosen it, but all of these this jargon, these sayings that we've heard in network marketing. Remember, I told you at Vision, network marketing is broken because what we do is we say things, or what's been said is things have been said from stage or on a microphone with somebody who wears a lapel pin that they call a leader, and it's accepted as what's true. Because in network marketing, we don't teach people how to think. We only teach them what to do. And that's why we only focus on duplication, not education. Here in Ibuumerang, it's different. We're teaching you why to think, not just what to say, not just have a scripted lifestyle. So we hear these sayings, well, only 3% of the people make it. 100% of those who make a decision make it. 100% of those who do what's required make it. It's not that everybody does what's required and only 3% make it. It's that the 97% in life, they coast. They coast. They put it on cruise control. They coast. They climb the mountain and then their shoulder hurts. And guess what they do? They park. They climb the mountain and then they get, maybe a aching calf muscle. And then they say it's too hard. It's no different than working Ibuumerang and you give out one of your boomerangs and 2 people return them. Well, it doesn't work. They didn't activate it. Or, I gave out all 50 boomerangs or 100 boomerangs and I haven't received a travel savings bonus. You can't force people to travel. You build a pipeline. And so it's all of these excuses that take place. That makes up the 97%. Do you know that 90+% of the people who own a real estate license don't make enough from real estate to pay their own rent? Is it that real estate doesn't work? No, it's people choose to stay average. And average people don't have exceptional results. So what we're sharing with you is some small tips on getting yourself above average work environment or average attitudes. And once you start to just do a little bit more, those of you who are on this call, you've already proven you're 3 times better than what you were 20 minutes ago. We're 2,500 people on this call. Why? Because you made a decision. You made a decision and somebody did it first. Somebody responded first. Somebody put something in the chat. Come on, guys, you can do better. It's not because I'm on this call. What I'm saying to you is not new. You've heard me say this before. It's not that I'm going to make that much of an impact in your business or in your mindset that warrants it. No, guys, what T. Gray is teaching, just somebody said, I saw him on the chat, they said HB has duplicated himself. Absolutely. When I hear him speak, when I hear Mark talk, I hear myself either 2 days ago or 10 years ago, depending on when I share with them or when I taught them what it is that they're speaking about. That training T. Gray gave, guess what? I sent it to him last night. He was doing a training and I said, hey, T. Gray, why don't you do this as well? Great. I sent him a text and what he did is he embellished it, put a little bit of his own other stuff in there, but it's duplication. Who cares who gets credit for coming up with it? None of this content is original. I didn't invent it. I didn't come up with it. But let me get back to what I was saying. I've got now 9 minutes until my Zoom call. And then I've got a plane to catch and I still haven't packed at all. Okay. But so here's what I want to share with you. This myth about startups. Is it going to make it? Okay. And here's what I told them. First of all, cut out the words, cut out all of this stuff that you hear, because most of us don't know what we're talking about. We have no clue what we're talking about. All right. Startup. Do you even know why they go out of business? Most of you don't even know why they go out of business. You just repeat what you've heard, and it gets up in here, and this is what causes people not to have vision and not to have great results. Okay? Do me a favor, tell Anna, make sure they call my people for my Zoom that's coming up in 7 minutes, because I think I'm gonna go past 7 minutes, and let them know, watch the Zoom, and then, watch this, and then I'll get on their Zoom, okay? And tell them I'll be on there shortly, okay? Because I got a couple minutes. I got to share some with you guys. Do you know why they fall out of business? Do you know, have you thought about it? Or have you just accepted that's what it is? Let me share something with you. Do you know that over 90% of network marketing companies that start up never put 100 people in them? See, the ones that you don't even hear about them. Why? Because anybody with a computer and a bad idea can start a network marketing company. They never get past 100 people. Number one reason is lack of experience. Number one reason. I've been doing it for 29 years. Mark has been with me 14 years. T. Gray's been with me 11, 12, 17 years, 14 years. Okay. Edwin Haynes been with me forever. Okay. David Manning's been in network marketing 30 years. Lack of experience. I don't think I have lack of experience. And it's not experience only. Successful experience. There's a difference between experience and successful experience. Okay? Successful experience. I had a guy who told me, hey, I've got 20 years of experience. I said, well, why are you only making $8,000 a month? What have you been doing? You could have actually become a supervisor or manager at McDonald's and you could make over 6 figures. You could have gotten there in 8 years. I'm not putting that down, but he was bragging. And don't brag to me because, when I get heated, I'll come back. I say, you don't have 20 years of experience. You've got 1 year of experience that you've just repeated 20 different times. What did you do the other 19 years? All right. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. So they have lack of experience. We're not lacking experience over here. Number 2, they don't have the money. They don't have the resources. And it's not the resources to start a business. It is more expensive to grow a network marketing company. It costs you more money to go into momentum than to grow slow. I don't think we're going to have that problem over here in terms of lack of money. Okay. That's never going to be Ibuumerang's issue. Somebody said the other day, well, I didn't get my money from the pay app. I wonder did they run out of money? No, it would take a lot. Okay. For that to happen. We're Ibuumerang's not running out of money. I can tell you that right now. Okay. They lack the resources. They start on a shoestring budget. We didn't start on a shoestring budget. We have zero debt. We don't borrow anything. All the companies we have, we bought them cash. We don't finance. When we say good, I set the example. Get out of debt, I set the example. I don't have a mortgage on any of the houses. I don't have a car note on any of my cars. All the things we own them. We lead by example. So we are cash rich in terms of a company. We're not going to have that issue. Third reason is they don't know how to make the connection between what it is that they want to sell and the customer who they want to sell it to. They can't make that connection. The majority of companies who come up in network marketing, they come up with a good idea. They come up with a good idea. Okay. Have you ever seen the show called Shark Tank? The show called Shark Tank should be evidence of the danger of a good idea. How does Shark Tank work? All of these brilliant people come up with great ideas and can't make it work. And so they go to the Shark Tank because those guys have the money, resources, the know-how, and contacts to make them work. But here's what happens in network marketing. Typically, the ego of the person who has a great idea, the inventor of the idea, thinks that they also can execute the idea. And 90+% of the time, they can't do it. It's like the chef who knows how to bake cakes really good, thinking that they can run a restaurant. I've got a great idea. I know how to bake cakes. Let me start a restaurant, and it fails. So they don't have the experience. They don't know how to make the connection from here to there. That connection is lost. Okay? That connection is lost. I believe we know how to make that connection. I believe we've taken something that the world wants and we found a way to get it to them. And we're the first people to ever get it to them at no cost. And we're the first company to, last month, here's what I want you to know. Last month on the 20th, we made history. It was the first time ever in the history of network marketing that a company paid commissions, multiple levels, all the way up line on people who experience a travel booking. It's illegal to do it just from what we call the IATAN travel or what we call the travel agent method of doing it. So what we did is we engineered savings. We will take the savings, by the way, which on our average are 10 to 15 times more than the travel agent commissions alone. The savings are 10 to 15 times higher. On my trip that I just took, that if I would have taken that trip at $9,000, okay, $9,000, the trip that I went on last week, and we know everybody don't take those trips, but it was my birthday, $9,000 trip for 7 days, 5-star incredible resort. Travel agent commission is going to be somewhere between 5 and 16%. Let's just say 5% because 16 is on some of those other things. 5% of 9,000 is what? $450. $450. But if you're a network marketer, you get 25% of the travel agent's commission. So 25% of the 450, about $100. There's no more money to pay anybody upline. However, with Ibuumerang, if a customer had taken that trip, I saved 40, let's just say I saved 5,000 to make numbers even. That means the customer would have saved 2,500. We would have paid one person $1,250 for the same trip, for getting it for getting the trip $5,000 cheaper. We would have paid $1,250 to one person. We would have taken 70% of the other $1,250, and we would have paid that upline. Nobody in the history of the world has ever done it. I think we've done something that nobody's done. This is one of the, this debunks that fact right there. So last, when we did it, you know what? We had distributors over here and they were showing us in their back office. This is why I love people with vision. They were showing us in their back office that they had people who had a $2.15 commission. Okay, do me a favor. Give me my phone here real quick. I'm jumping onto my Zoom. They need to see what I'm doing, and then I'll get on. They need to hear this so that way I don't have to talk about this part of why we're new. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. I'm jumping on here. Give me 1 second. There we go.
We're at 4K.
Okay. All right. Hey, guys. Hey, just give me 1 second here. I'm finishing up the company worldwide Zoom. I just thought I'd put this on. And just give me a couple seconds, guys. I'm on a worldwide Zoom right now. Just give me a couple seconds. I'll let you guys listen in as I finish up this call. This is something that you guys are probably going to want to hear as well. So here's the other thing, guys. Here's the other thing, okay? So when you take a look at, let me mute my call out here real quick, turn my volume now so you guys don't get interrupted here. So here's the thing that I want you to understand. They don't know how to make that connection. So what we just did, we're the first company in the history of the world who's ever paid commissions like that. Right now, when you look at our supplier, there's no company in the travel industry who's booking travel like Ibuumerang. And I'm talking about the largest, the oldest travel network marketing companies out there. Right now, we're number one, and we're 6 months old from pre-launch, 1 month old from launching. 1 month old from launching. So do we know how to make that connection? Yes. So remember, we're debunking the startup myth. Number one, they don't have the experience. I just gave you hundreds of years of experience that we have here in Ibuumerang. So stop listening to everything that you hear about, well, it's a startup, will it work? Number two, they don't have the capital. That's never going to be our issue. We got a lot over here, okay? Number three, they don't know how to make the connection with what it is that they want to sell to the customer that they want to sell it to. I think we've done it. We've got now, how many customers do we have now? 194,000 customers in 6 months. I think we're connecting pretty good. We've made history. First company in network marketing to accumulate this number of customers in this short period of time. It's never been done, never happened, but that's why we're just different. Okay? Now, number four, here's the big one. It's not the money. It's not the experience. It's not the connection between the customer. Here's the biggest reason why companies go out of business and startups is because the owners of those companies typically don't know how to bridge the gap between relationships of the field, between the field and corporate. They don't know how to do it. And the majority of the companies, here's what you've got, ladies and gentlemen. You've got distributors sitting there starving and saying they don't understand how it is to be out here in this field. Why? Because they're sitting in their office and they haven't done a presentation in 20 years or have never done one before. And they're sitting in their office and they haven't had a no. They're not at the meetings. They're not out there in the field. They're not leading on the front lines. That's one of the biggest reasons that companies who are startups fail. Now, we've already debunked the 4 myths of what startups are, because you didn't even know what a startup was and you didn't know why they go out of business. So now that we've debunked those, let me give you something else here. I want to share this with you, okay? Here's what I want to share with you. We have a 18-year-old travel company that did $130 million last year. 18 years old, $130 million last year. My director of travel, 36 years in the travel industry. Who's who when it comes to travel connected with network marketing. Speaks on behalf of Congress, at Congress on behalf of CLIA. That's who's in Ibuumerang, okay? I've got 29 years of experience myself, all right? I've worked the last 11 years on the corporate end. Why did I take a corporate position in my last company? Because the company didn't know how to bridge the gap between corporate and the field. I volunteered and says, you guys are about to mess this up. I'll become that person. They started off at VP of sales and went all the way up to chief visionary officer. And I did it with one stipulation. I said, I'll do this as long as I can keep my commissions and as a distributor, because there's no money in wealth and that just from a from a salary standpoint, when you're working at a network marketing company. My wealth didn't come from that. My wealth came as a distributor. So we've done that. Okay. The other part that I'll tell you is this here. So when you look at from a travel standpoint, the experience standpoint, the finances that we have right now, being completely debt free. So my question for you, and here's your question for anybody else who asks a dumb, stupid question like that. What part of Ibuumerang is a startup outside of the name that was just registered in February? See, if Jeff Bezos started a brand new concept and he says, hey, I'm launching a brand new company, would you consider it a startup and give him the same 95% chance of failure? Probably not. Well, I'm the Jeff Bezos of network marketing, and I deserve the same level of respect in my industry that he deserves in his. If Mark Zuckerberg was starting another social site, would you think it's probably going to have a great chance of succeeding? Or would you use the same dumb sayings that you've been taught? Oh, it's a startup, it's probably going to fail. It's Mark Zuckerberg. He's only worth 40+ billion, but it's going to fail. Why? Because that's what the numbers say. So before you start going off with what I call the network marketing colloquialisms, all of the sayings that you've been taught that you don't even know the meaning to, stop and think. Stop and think. That's why Ibuumerang is just different. We're not teaching you just to duplicate. We're here to educate. We're not going to tell you just what to do. We tell you why. All right? We tell you why. Everything that we do here, we share it with you. We operate from the IT factor, integrity and transparency. And so I want all of you to know this is how we make this happen. This is what we do. We've watched this industry for 29 years. And this is not bragging. This is from a factual standpoint. I have not been able to tap another person on the shoulder that I know of on this earth who has the level of experience with success, not only personal, but team success that I have. And I've watched what has happened wrong. And I said, this shouldn't be done this way. We should do things differently. We should do it differently. So all of the myths of, well, it's a startup. So what? So what? The company who built your house, they were a startup at one time. You still bought it. The company who actually designed your car at one point in time was a startup. The company who's manufacturing the clothes that you're wearing on your back at some point in time was a startup. That's what makes America so great, is that everybody has a chance to start up. You don't have to start with years of experience. Some countries you can't go into business unless somebody in your family or somebody has given you, unless it was willed to you. Okay. And so get all of those things out of your head. And last thing I want to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw what you've done already in just 30 minutes, you saw the power of going the extra mile and taking that thing from 211 degrees and that 1 degree. What does it do? 4,000 connections on this Zoom right now. I mean, on just the Facebook Live. Because I told you, if you get 1,000 people on, HB will come on to the end of the training. Do you see what you're made of? So what does that mean? October is Sapphire Month. It's October Fast. T. Gray just gave you the fast, not October Fest, October Fast. Last month, over 300 plus sapphires were qualified last month. How many of you don't want to? I mean, just raise your hands if you don't want to go to Costa Rica with us. Raise your hands if you don't want to go to Morocco. We're saying $15,000 in volume for the month. You get to go to Costa Rica with us? You get to go to Morocco with us? Do you know of a company who does trips like that for $15,000 in volume? $15,000 in volume, okay? Unlimited number of people who's going to come. It doesn't matter. It can be 2,000 of you. We're going to pay for it. We got it. Get it done this month. I've got a Zoom call, as I told you guys. I've got to pack. I got to get to the airport. I've got all these things going on, but I wanted to come on and share some love with you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you guys. I'll see you. And here's my gallery over here. I don't need a round of applause. My gallery over here is giving me this round of applause. But listen, guys, you guys rock. I want you to look at what you did. I didn't do it. You did it. Turn on the afterburners. Let's go out here and get this thing done. I'm going to see you guys in Costa Rica or Morocco. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm out of here, bro. I got to do this call. Talk to you guys later.
Wow. Drops mic, leaves set, leaves it smoking hot up in here. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody, that was our CEO, fearless leader, visionary, Holton Bugs. And I want to say hats off and congratulations to you guys. You guys showed up and showed out.
We've got more though.
We do?
Yeah.
What do we got? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Hold on, before we share. Right. So you guys showed up and showed out and took the call literally from about 700 or 800 people on Facebook to over 4,000. So first of all, huge congratulations to you guys. Way to step it up, way to invite big. And now here's what I want to say. Why didn't we start there? You just showed yourself what you're capable of. And that's what we need to do every single week. We need to start with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people on the training. And then, you never know who's going to show up. And if we get to 10,000, then fantastic. But everyone who you got on the training, they needed to hear the first part too. So let's make sure that we don't settle for less than what we're capable of each week.
Yeah, I want to put an exclamation point on that. So you never know who's going to show up. You never know. So always be sure that you're on the call. The second thing I really want to make a really distinct point about is, and I've said it multiple times, and you've heard it. We are a 29-year-old startup.
Yep.
So I've worked in the startup world in Silicon Valley. And when I got here, knowing what I know and working with startups, working with 20-year-olds, in CEOs that were in their 20s, working with CEOs, at other ages as well, this is not a startup. It's absolutely 100% not a startup for all the reasons that you heard today. And that's why I always call it a 29-year-old startup. We all we met years and years ago, decades ago, and we all went our separate ways. And then we've all come back around because we know that Ibuumerang is special.
That's right.
We know that it's special, and we know that we all had to go out and get different experiences to even come back together the way we have. So I don't believe in coincidences.
That's
I really
right.
believe that this was all a plan, a master plan, and meant to be. So, and the last thing I want to say about that. So there may be startups out there that might have experience and leaders with experience. But one thing I will say they don't have the vision that Mr. Bugs has, and that this team gets to execute on.
That's right.
I believe this to my core. There are very few opportunities to meet someone like Mr. Holton Bugs in your life. You may get one opportunity to do that. I've worked with multiple founders, multiple visionaries in the industry and different industries as well. And I've never met one quite like Holton. And I don't think I ever will again. So we truly are fortunate. And again, I would put Holton up against any CEO in any industry anywhere in the world. That's how good he is. He could take, he didn't even have to do Ibuumerang. He could have done many other things, but he said, and I remember it when I came out here and flew out that first time and met with him. He said, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm in a good place, but I really want to do something that's going to help the people who could not win in network marketing. I really want to do something that will help people win.
And that's a key thing. It's born out of passion, not born out of need. Right. He didn't do this because he needed something. You make totally different decisions when you need to make money. You make totally different decisions when that's not an issue, and you're just about the principles and you're about the vision. Yeah, exactly.
So, and the last thing I want to say, and again, it all comes back. I said it earlier. It's about the philosophy of Ibuumerang. You throw a boomerang out, it comes back. Again, Mr. And Mrs. Bugs, they have philosophically always subscribed to the fact of giving out goodwill and not expecting anything in return. And it's something that they've carried on, and it's one of the reasons that Ibuumerang was named what it was, and it's why we are doing what we're doing here today. So, all right, we're getting back to that. All right, cool. So,
all right, let's wrap the training up.
Yeah, let's wrap the training up.
We're definitely over.
And I like the Oktoberfest. I love that.
Oktoberfest.
All right, let's see here. So the commemorative album. Oh gosh, I've seen this. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's lovely. Is it going to print?
It's going to Erlene.
It's going to Erlene. Erlene's going to do her final on it. It's $39.95. It is absolutely beautiful. So you can go to boomgear.com and you can order that. Dream Weekend. Okay, man. After all of this,
I know they have the promo.
After all of this, and if you don't have your ticket to Dream Weekend, what is wrong with you?
Exactly.
There are 4,000 people listening right now of 3,900. Well, it's 4,000 with everybody included. Go now. Go get your ticket. Go to iboomhub.com. Go to events. Do the drop down. Get to Dream Weekend. And go ahead and get your ticket. There should be 4,000 tickets sold.
Exactly.
Right?
So real quick, let's make sure everybody understands. Saturday is the leadership training. Yep. Qualified Sapphires and above. You have to qualify at least one time. Even if you qualified Sapphire before, you have to qualify at least one time in September, October, or November. Now, for those of you who are just getting started, if you believe that you're going to get Sapphire done, and if you're focused and you finalized your goals, you have October and November to get it done. go ahead and buy your ticket, and that'll be one thing that'll create a little bit of pressure for you. All right, number 2,
General
Sunday.
session.
That's for everybody. That's for the whole company. All right, so you want to make sure that you have a ticket to that too. Leaders who are going to the Saturday training, you need a ticket to Sunday also. So you're going to need to buy a 99 and a 79. Those of you who are not Sapphires and above, not going to be there on Saturday. You just need to buy the Sunday ticket. Okay.
Cool. And typically that is $129. So I think last week when I was talking about the $129 price, that's $79 now. That price will go up. Somebody said $129. Are you kidding me? And I think it was Tommy Johnson, our new diamond, Tommy Johnson. He said $129 is a bargain for what it is that you're going to receive at that training. So
that's right.
And it is. And oh gosh, who else was it? Somebody else was talking to me the other day. Oh, it was you, Kitsia. You were saying they're doing an event and they're charging $1,000, and I think even other tickets were $1,500. And this is in a different industry, and there's no way that they are going to be training on the things that we're training on.
That's right.
For people to become financially independent and free. Disclaimer, sorry. So definitely go ahead and get in there, get the early bird price. And finally,
the dinner cruise.
Yeah.
So we've rented out a 221-foot, $40 million yacht that has never, ever been used by a company in our industry. And this thing is absolutely amazing. So you absolutely want to come and party with us and have your dream expanded with us. Now, there's only room for 600. There are a few tickets left. You definitely want to grab it.
I think we are over 50% sold out. I think we're probably bordering on 70%.
Yeah,
we are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
You got the numbers.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go. It's selling out. So now, one last thing. And for this reason alone, you're going to want to get to Miami. We talked about the launch of Vibe Rides.
This is what we've been working on at corporate all week long.
Yeah.
So if we've been slow to get back to you, Mark and I have been taking a long time to get back to you because we've been in planning sessions, strategy sessions about how we are going to launch Vibe Rides at this particular weekend, at this particular event. And guys, ladies, prepare to have your minds blown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Tanya Mazel just said she paid $5,000 for a training that she went to. I'm not going to say the person's name because we don't want to do that. But she paid $5,000 for a training, and she said it does not even compare to what we offer her. So Vibe Rides is going to be launched that week.
Yep.
In Miami. So if for no other reason you want to get down to Miami, because we're going to be doing some things that network marketing companies and actually lots of companies in the world have never done before. The way we're going to launch this.
Yes.
And I'm excited because it's going to be something that is going to be unforgettable.
Listen, guys, if you have any experience with us at all, you know that we don't hype and we don't overpromise.
Yeah.
Right? We told you Vegas was going to be mind-blowing, and it was mind-blowing. Folks, we're going to do it big in Miami this particular weekend.
Yeah.
You
all
want
week long.
You want to be there.
All week long.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I think, is that it?
I think we have one more. Boom.
Of course. Accelerate. Spring 2020. I mean, how many? I think we've sold literally thousands and thousands of tickets to Accelerate already as well. Right now, what's the price right now for Accelerate? Is it $179?
$179.
Okay, so we've got the special for the new people. Okay, so they can get their ticket at $50. Do not let them not do that. Just go ahead and let them know when you do sign up, you're going to see this pop up, get your ticket, but then secondarily, get your ticket. This is a $299 full price ticket. Okay, you saw what happened at Vision. And if you haven't seen what happened at Vision, go back and watch the video of Vision. It was incredible. I've personally never attended an event like that in my life, much less been able to speak at an event like that. So bottom line is this, get your ticket now. That ticket will also increase in price. And we were talking also about Accelerate and where we're going to have it, where we're going to hold it, and some of the details about Accelerate. Man, I was getting fired up and excited about that as well. So, and again, here's how you want to do this. Go ahead and get people to the next event, which is Dream Weekend, and then get them to the next big event, which is Accelerate.
That's right.
So go ahead and focus on those two only. So as leaders, here's what you want to do with your team. Go ahead and say, hey, look, get to Dream Weekend, all right? And then get your Accelerate ticket as well. So go ahead and get your teams focused on that. And
All
with
right,
that,
folks,
ladies and gentlemen,
that's a wrap.